Hey everyone, I'm Mark and this is Kelly, and this is our first installment of what we're calling Living Lean 101. We're just going to demo some basic exercises for a while so you can learn how to do them at home or your gym, or if you're a member here, you can learn how to do them better here without us barking in your ear all the time. Today, we're going to learn the single leg hip extension. Kelly's going to demo that for us. There are many variations. We're just going to demo the single leg because you could do this anywhere. No weight, doesn't require any equipment. Here we're using a bench to allow more range of motion, but you can do it at home with your back on the ground even if you would like. So we're going to get Kelly set up just in the basic standard position. So take a seat in front of the bench. Right here, the middle of our shoulder blades are on the corner of the bench. You don't want to be too high so your middle back is on the bench, because the lever arm from the bench to her knee is going to shorten, which is not enough stress on your glute, okay? This exercise is primarily for your glute and hamstring. So when Kelly gets set up, she could do a rep at the top just so she can check that her knee angle is about 90 degrees, which here it is. She might be able to scooch it back just a little bit, but if this is pretty comfortable for her, I would accept that for sure. So to get set up, just get down. Kelly's leg is straight, which is fine. It just allows more stress on her right working side. And we'll get into, if this hurts your back, what to do with that leg. But your first setup is, she's in a straight line here. When you extend your hip, you want to keep your gaze straight, okay? Most people want to use their lower back to come up. Can you show that real quick? So they start with their back arched. These muscles are already contracted. We don't want these contracted. We want them neutral. So when you go up with the contracted lower back, it'll look like this. See that sway right there? So we want to cue somebody to come down, just rest your butt on the ground, just tap them right here. Almost think to draw your belly button down to my finger here. Can you arch again? Watch what happens here. Most people start here, just draw your belly button right there. You're using your obliques to tilt your pelvis, so the stress goes from here, right down to your right glute in this case. When you are going up, you must think to keep that tilt, because you can't lose it or else you'll go right to your back again. So here, her right foot is raised, she's digging her heel in. As you come up, you want to come up and pull yourself forward almost. We're not really going to see a ton of that, but instead of going up and back, which most people do, that way, now look at this angle. She's now doing a leg press. She's working her thigh here. This is a butt, secondarily, primary butt, secondary hamstring exercise. We want you to think, dig that heel in and leg curl it this way. You're doing a static leg curl is all with your foot. Then, straight line. You notice how she's not too high here. Arch your back and go up, bang. Then she can go a little higher. She arches her back and lets her head go down. Come on down again. Okay, let's do 2 more good reps, super slow. Tilt your pelvis first. Boom, boom, boom. Now, see, she's not as high as when she did it incorrectly. Don't look for more range of motion just because. Full contraction is full range of motion here, and any exercise. Full contraction equals full range, right? So right at the top, even after these 8 reps, I think Kelly's butt might be on fire right now, okay? So that's the idea there. Also, can you go around that way? Another cue that people do almost every time when they're beginners, they take this foot, it's automatically turned out. See the midline here? Her thigh is going out this way. That's taking away most of that contraction from her hip muscles, her butt muscles. So when you go down to cue somebody here, first of all, turn their foot so it's straight. Then when they get set up like this, just give them a tactile cue, pull into my hand. In other words, we always say, don't let me pull your leg out, so pull me in. And just give them a little pressure, that's it, a tiny bit of pressure. They will find they can't go up nearly as far because all the contraction is here. They might be a little tight in their hip flexor, but they're getting all that contraction from their glute. And you'll even hear it every time people grab their butt and say, oh, that's when we know the contraction is right, okay? Also, let's talk about this leg. This is the harder way to do this because your leg is now a weight and it's out this way. Some people say my back hurts when I do this, even though it's a body weight exercise. That's because when you come up, your pelvis is really 2 pieces. When this leg is long, your pelvis does that, right? That's gonna put rotation coming right up your lower back. You can relax. Rotation right up your lower back. To fix that, at least initially, she can go here when she's ready. We take your leg, pull it all the way in. Relax this, pretend like we even cue you with the ball. We don't have it right here. Pretend this ball here, just hug that ball. When you go up, don't let that ball fall out. So it'll look like this, right there. Look how high she's not getting because her pelvis is square to the floor now. When it was out here, even Kelly may have been have a little bit of rotation here, so she got a little higher. So when you pull this leg in, back to what I said earlier, don't look for range of motion. Look for the contraction in your glute here. So keep that in. Most people will come up and go out with that leg, okay? Just because. Really pull it in for them and say keep it there. As you extend, pull in with your left free leg. So it'll look like this again. Boom. Feel that in your right cheek? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so next, last thing. Eye gaze stays forward. If it doesn't, your head and neck are gonna go up and back. Two things will happen. You'll go back, your back will arch, and then the contraction will be right on your lower back again, okay? Don't go too fast here. If you're doing a set of 10 reps, just go nice and slow. Segment this at the bottom. Tuck under, drive through, then up. In that order. One more time. Tuck under, drive through, up and this way. Last thing, pull yourself off the bench without really pulling yourself off the bench, okay? All right, Kelly's tired here. And that's our first video of Living Lean 101. Thanks, we'll be back next week with another exercise. Thank you, Kelly.